So this is EchoPanel. If you sign up, you get the 200 tokens. If you join on Discord, I'll give you another 1,000. And basically these are, just tokens that I burn against OpenRouter, so there is a real cost here. So you pick your content type between any of these, and if you want none of them, you just click on this, and then you can put in 5,000 characters. This is not really guiding. Well, it is a little bit, but it's going to tell you about, are you even in the ballpark on size, right? And here you can type, give it extra context. So if you're making a website, you can just tell it a little bit about what the website is, and then it's going to use that when it looks at your ad copy. And the buyer context, this is basically, you can turn this on or you can turn it off. What it does is that when you run it against the panel, if you have this on, it'll assign this aspect to any and all of the panel users. So if it doesn't make sense that a user would be a B2B or enterprise user, then just turn this off. If you're trying to sell like a children's book or something like that, it doesn't make sense to have the buyer context on. But for a lot of cases, it actually makes a lot of sense to be able to segment it like that, and that just gives one more dimension into the panel that you're trying to run, right? So I'm gonna try and find a I'm gonna make some copy that I can test on it, and it's like, so Claude, can we make some copy to explain what EchoPanel is? Just look at the front page and like try and make something that's silly, but it's decent but not super good. So I'm gonna try and have it make something that's decent but not super good. And what I'm gonna do is obviously I'm just gonna copy it in here and run discovery. But the interesting thing is that discovery is going to try and match your content into a focus group. That is going to be the first thing it does. So if you know what your ideal customer is, and chances are you have an idea, but you're not entirely sure, right? So can you give me like a 500 character-ish copy that we can test? So discovery is what I would probably use first, because that will give you an idea of, let's test this against this and this segment on Facebook or Google Ads. So let's just try one of them, and we have a cordial issue, but that's fine. So let's try one of them. So boom, like that, 496. Good job, Claude. I am gonna run it against the buyer context, and we're just gonna run discovery, and it's gonna be 44 tokens, and that's sort of fair. So it's now running this against our synthetic panels, and it looks like he actually did a super good job of writing copy for EchoPanel here. And what we're doing in the background here is like we have the psychogenic dimensions, and we have these dimensions, but we also have like age, like interest, like that is sort of the point where, and this, god damn it, we're still getting unable to process response. That's not good. We'll fix that. That's like a technical bug, right? Let's see if this is actually finish it. As per usual, I got an Yeah, so it finishes. I'm just slut shaming Claude because he's lazy. So what happened is that now we've actually run discovery, and I think we're getting really, really good response on this copy, to be honest. So we can see which categories of people are responding to this message the best, and digital sovereignty makes sense. All these actually make sense. It's what I was expecting, because across runs, this is what it ends up, giving us the most. So here we have like a 5-star from Tanya, and she's like almost sold on the messaging, right? And maybe this sort of makes sense. I don't know, but if you have a freelancer, right, that is also a tech pioneer, well, I'm not saying that it makes sense, but the LLM tells you that it makes sense. So this is ultimately like a brainstorming tool, right? So what we can do, we can pick one of these guys or multiple, and now you see that if we're picking digital sovereignty, we're picking it for all the aspects, and that is as expected. We can pick those, and then we can rerun it inside of because now we've picked them down here in the target audience in this little bit muddy UI, to be honest, or UX. Now we can run it on these 27 personas, but I think our discovery phase is strong enough. But what this would do is it would run it on 12 instead of just 2 or 4 inside of early adopters. So you would have a more this is like a smaller or tighter panel that to test your message on. So we can do that just for fun, and we can see like how that ends up. Let's do that with 27 tokens. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is going to make it easy, right, to go to Facebook and say, oh yeah, I want to spend a couple of $100 on an ad. But you can also go up and let's see what this thing is doing. Yeah, that's fine. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit higher, because we're targeting a demographic that is, like in discovery, showed to be like strongly responding to this message. So let's see what happens. We went from 6.6 overall to and there is something, so we're getting a better, like not by a lot, but it's better, right? So and the individual results here are, I think these guys are understanding what I'm trying to sell them. And now we have a market segment that we can market to, and we have feedback. What we can do is we can run an AI improved version where we take the feedback from this panel, and this needs to be markdown formatted. I've asked it to do it, but it's lazy. So let's use this as new input, and then we can run another discovery, or we can run it on the same group and see if it performs better or worse than 7.1. And this is how you would iterate on your copy, right? So what it did was that it looked at the feedback from the panel. It took that back into an author stage, rewrote your copy based off of that, and now it's running it back on the same panel. But it's not stateful. These guys, they show up blank every time, so that you're basically testing it as if they see it for the first time. That is basically what EchoPanel is. It's like a way to create a synthetic panel of users, and see how it did. So it was pretty much the same, which is fair. You're gonna have to iterate on it a little bit. And then, I mean, if you take out, let's say something like this, you can, Tech Pioneers, they're not super, like they're the lowest tier. So let's take out Tech Pioneers. Now we're running, let's run it on these 15%. There is a little bit of an overlap, right? So you have one person that's in this group and in this group. That's why you end up with just 15. But this means that when you're running it on a smaller panel, you should be able to also target it on Facebook or Google Ads, wherever you want to run your ads, to a tighter demographic. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, if you want to test this, sign up at echopanel.it. Get 200 tokens for free. Come join us on Discord and I'll give you 1,000 more. That should be enough to run like 5 or 6 campaigns on this. Maybe that's all you need for a month, right? Very happy if you can look at this from a like testing perspective and try it. So yeah, predictably we went from 7.1 to 7.3 because we've now shrinked down our like who's in the panel. So yeah, that's EchoPanel. Maybe this is useful for you. So thanks for checking it out and let me know what you think.